Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball thing, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shai Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Wells, a rhythm three. Yes, sir! Exclamation point on this game.
Grizz fans, defend your home court from pests with Terminix. Before cockroaches, spiders, and mice show up, Terminix it with our pest-free 365-plus year-round protection plan. Visit Terminix.com today and enter code SAVE50 at checkout to save $50. Terms apply. Go Grizzlies!
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling of having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, March 31st. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, Grizzlies fall to the Suns here at FedEx Forum. We will go around the NBA last night where the MVP race is heating on up. Or is it? Is it over? Is it still ongoing? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with a big night. Victor Wembanyama with a big night. Nikola Jokic casually just keeps doing his thing. And JJ Redick making a case for Luka Doncic. We'll get into that all. Plus, the interesting reason why Anthony Edwards missed the beginning of his game with the Timberwolves yesterday. Mike Wallace will join us to talk Grizzlies, NBA, and more. Will Coleman will join us to talk NCAA tournament going into Final Four weekend. We'll do some TV Tuesday, what we're watching, the women's Final Four, all set and situated as well. All the one seeds advance. It is a Tuesday. We got a lot to get into, but first and foremost, CJ, you've almost made it.
What?
The end of Women's History Month.
Jessica.
You did it!
I'm a true hashtag ally. I'm
I
not
know.
keeping track of that.
So I kept track for you.
Every month is Women's History Month for me.
That's the right answer.
I support all the ovary achievers.
That's
I
the
rock
right
with
answer.
all of herstory. I'll even tolerate some shenanigans.
I just want you to know that we are strong her together.
Yes, you are. Go.
Oh, Sherapy.
Wouldn't it be Shirapy?
Sure.
Shirapy. Yeah.
Oh, that gets a little dicey. So we'll go into last night's Grizzlies game.
No.
Woo, baby, let's cross off another night at FedEx Forum where the Grizzlies fell to the Suns. 131-105. My husband, I came home and goes, wow, they lost by 30. I said, what if I told you it was 91-91 early in the fourth quarter? And then the Suns outscored the Grizzlies 40-16. That will take care of that. CJ Hurt was in the building with guests last night. CJ, did you think the Grizzlies might actually mess around and win 2 games in a row? You didn't. I did.
No.
Until that Devin Booker banked in 3 at the end of the third quarter. I was sitting there like, what if this happens?
On the most basic of inbounds plays in that situation. Right, you know what's coming. Throw it to the top of the key. It's a Christian Laettner thing. Throw it to the top of the key. Throw it to your shooter, and then let them shoot it. That shot went in. It was like, all right, man. What are you guys doing? They're trying.
And that was Devin Booker's last shot of the game.
Yeah, at one point, maybe about midway through the second quarter, my thought was, what the hell are the Suns working on? What are they doing? Because it is not trying to win this basketball game.
They were trying to get Colin Gillespie out of his shooting slump.
Okay.
He had missed like 22 straight shots from their game against the Nuggets. The end of their game against the Nuggets, he went 0 of 8 against the Jazz, and then he started 0 of 8 against the Grizzlies. And I think they were trying to get him his groove back.
I can see that now that you're saying it, where it's a lot of stuff trying to get him shots. And he ended up making one maybe early in the fourth quarter, if I remember correctly, and his hands just go up to the basketball
He was
heavens.
like full prayers, thank you for...
And then after that, because that's the moment. After that shot goes in, if I remember correctly, they just put foot on necks and stomp on the Grizzlies.
Without Devin Booker. I mean, like, truly. He didn't play in the fourth quarter, which is wild.
They've got NBA players on the roster without Devin Booker, without Dylan Brooks.
Gillespie got going. Dunn had a big fourth quarter. I thought yesterday they were also trying to give Iguodaro just some confidence minutes because what did the Grizzlies not have? A center. Who was playing center for the Grizzlies last night? Taylor Hendricks. Is that a problem for this team? Yes. Now, that said, I mean, the fact that the Grizzlies were in it into the fourth quarter was yet another remarkable night in this thing for a Grizzlies team that has 3 players playing for them right now who were supposed to be playing for this team at the start of the season. Cam Spencer, Gigi Jackson, and Cedric Coward. And I thought Cam Spencer was going to go off last night. He had like 8 quick points. He was at the UConn-Duke game, which is awesome. I love that he was there. You can see him in the back of some of the photos behind the bench when the Mullen shot goes in. And then he played like 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. Listen, we don't have to go excessively hard in the paint on this one. It is what it is. The season continues to roll on. There are 3 home games left. We are less than a week away from the home finale, which will take place next Monday, so a week from yesterday. We have the game Wednesday against the Knicks, Friday against the Raptors, and then this thing is coming to an end. But I did think in terms of actual important things from last night, after Cedric Coward had such a great game on Saturday, one of his best in recent memory, he had another tough one last night, 7 points on 1 of 7 shooting. Gigi Jackson, 14 points on 6 of 7. And the Grizzlies lose. Tyler Burton was good again. Some are saying Tyler Burton's the Michael Jordan of 10-day contracts. I'm just saying.
Do you hear that?
What?
Shh. Listen close.
A ghost.
Uh-oh. Give the Grizzlies good picks. Let's get the Tankathon. Let's do it. Give the Grizzlies they're a game out?
Very good boy.
A game out of 6?
I've had a really bad morning. This has the potential to send me to the ether.
All right, run it, Jacob. Here we go. They moved down, too?
Oh, my God.
They moved down,
I am
too?
having an atrocious morning.
Oh, my gosh. We need to make sure you have a good morning on draft lottery day. What's a good morning look like? What's a good day look like for you going into draft lottery? Because so we can make that happen.
Do you know where I'm going to be the morning of the draft lottery?
Please say getting a massage from somebody for Women's History Month.
I'm going to be in Paris, France.
You're going? How?
This is me breaking the news to you.
Great. Show meeting time, people. Let me set the stage.
But I'm coming home. I'll be back on that Monday.
Oh, so
I'm doing the craziest thing.
She's not going to be back on Monday. Show meeting, folks. We've talked about this off air.
Yes, I am.
We have talked about this off air. It's like, oh, if I could, I would go to Paris, but I can't, so I'm not. And this is how you tell me.
I forget which game it was recently, but I said, I really need something to look forward to at the end of this season.
What?
But I'll be back on that Monday. I fly in that night. So I will be.
All right.
So I will.
All right.
I wish we had a French player that we were going after in this year's draft, because then that would make sense. But I'll manifest whatever the next version of Victor Wembanyama is, because that would be a fantastic thing to have within this team.
When are you leaving?
We'll get into this later.
What shows are you missing?
We'll get into this after the
Well,
show.
no, I've got to talk to people now.
It's just a Friday. I'm literally going for the weekend. It's one of those crazy just decisions. You know,
I hope you get back here by Monday, but I'll make sure that we've got Monday covered as well.
No.
You're going to step off the plane Sunday on an international flight.
Yeah.
Get here in God knows what time.
It's like 9 o'clock.
And then come in here.
Make all the time back.
And then come in here on Monday and try and do it.
Isn't time incredible?
All right. You got it.
I'm going to watch the draft lottery from the Atlanta airport, which I hear is a really wonderful, chill place to be these days.
Listen, the way the flights have gone, good luck. I look forward to this. Vlog this or whatever the hell we call it on social.
I plan on it.
Yeah, do that.
It'll be better than this morning where I woke up and I couldn't see. I think it's the allergies in the air here in Memphis. My eyes are so painful. And then I almost broke my toe. I rammed my toe into my oven this morning. And now the Grizzlies just fell back to the 10th pick on the Tankathon. I want a do-over on this day. This is not the way that this day was supposed to go. I will say we had a caller on the double post last night, and he drove 90 minutes to last night's game from Jackson, and it was his first game of the season. It was his mom's first game ever. And it was just a legitimate, good reminder that the fans who are still coming are having a good time, right? And like this team is putting on, because they are competitive into the fourth quarter, and they shouldn't be. And there's like something mystical, magical, I think that's a Benson Boone song, about that experience. And so he was appreciative of a team that put in a fight, and then obviously, you know, it gets down to it and the skill gap takes over down the stretch, and you lose a game where Devin Booker doesn't play in the fourth quarter, and it happens. But I thought it was yet another reminder just of, like, I really appreciate the fan dedication and the fans who have still come out for some of these games. And I ran into my neighbors on my way home last night too, and they're like, man, like, you can't knock them. They're really, really trying. And they are. When they are on the court and when they are playing with groups that can attempt to compete, they are giving a little fright. I mean, the Suns needed to win that game. The Suns are in 7th in the Western Conference, barely hanging on to that spot above the Clippers, who are behind them in 8th, and you want that home court play-in game if you're the Suns. So this was a team, and yeah, could Dylan Brooks have come back last night? We'll find out if he plays tonight against the Orlando Magic, because the Suns are on the second night of a back-to-back. Mark Williams is on track to come back this week as well. But again, another shout-out, good try, good effort. Reason for the season is the Tankathon for the Grizzlies.
There's a talent gap in what this roster is versus what teams who are actually trying to go out there and win games are. And listen, we've said that before. It's noticeable when you watch. But I've had the past week, I've had 2 different groups of people come from out of town, Dixon County and Davidson County, Nashville, come in from out of town.
Yeah.
And they've come to games, and we've hung out, and just watching them watch the game and be captivated by everything that takes place in the game. Not just the points, the assists, the turnovers, but everything that comes with the in-arena experience, from the Claw crew to the Grizz girls to Super Grizz when he comes out in the fourth quarter, all of that. Seeing them take that in. I'm telling you, the kids' eyes are as big as saucer plates when they sit down to watch. I was with a group of older people in their 60s. Their eyes were huge. They are slack-jawed, being able to see these people go out there and compete. Listen, don't have to lie about it. Went and looked at ticket prices at the box office yesterday. It was like $25 a ticket.
Yeah.
And said it before, I'll say it again. You talk about, and we've talked about, and it's true to continue to be talked about, the way that the average American family and individual has been priced out of live entertainment, from concerts to plays to sporting events. If you're around, now's the perfect time to come through. You just want to get in the building. It is so very, very fun. First sporting event for a lot of these people I was with yesterday. Took my man. He was like, yo, I'm going to get me a burger. It's like, you don't want a burger? No. Go get you some of these rendezvous barbecue nachos, son. Like, what? And he ate them. And I thought he was going to eat the container that they came in as well, right? Like, that's how good they were. And it just goes to show that I know it's bad, right? It's not tough. It's bad right now. One, it'll get better. It always does. But two, it's still a fun time to be in a arena for. So if you can, go ahead and get out here. Buy you a couple of $20-something tickets, sit in the terrace level, make a day of it, kick it downtown, have some fun, man. It's a good experience, win, lose, or draw.
It is. NBA action from last night. We have a real MVP race going on, do we? We at least have a real MVP race conversation going on. So the Thunder beat the Pistons last night, 114-110 in overtime. The game went to overtime because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game winner in regulation was waved off. The Pistons had the ball with 13 seconds left in this game. And SGA steals the pass. He's going to walk it up the court. Opportunity, game on the line, 101, SGA, step back, game-winning three. Except it's not, because they wave it off for a push-off. And when you look at SGA's reaction, a little Stefan SNL hand motion there, you'd think, wow, this is going to be really controversial, I bet. Then you see the replay, and he pushed off. He armbarred him. And the NBA has been, here's the thing. The arm, that's a stiff arm. Like, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Now, I get it because you can see highlights where he did almost the exact same thing earlier in the quarter. This isn't called consistently, or at least it doesn't look like it's called consistently. Jalen Williams even shared a video of his brother Cody Williams in Utah from last night, where the Jazz shared a highlight of Cody Williams doing almost the exact same thing, showing that this push-off was allowed. Why is this push-off not allowed? The league has let them know they can't use the arm bar. Like, I think the palm is what gets SGA in trouble last night. I know SGA frustrates people, but he does play within the rules, right? Like, it drives people nuts, but for the most part, he plays within the rules. That was against the rules. It gets called off. It also allowed him to score another 8 points in overtime, and so he ends up with a 47-point game last night for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Did you have any problem with last night's wave off of SGA?
No. No problem.
It seems so simple.
And you know who else didn't have a problem with it by and large? SGA, because he kept going out there and competing.
Right.
Sometimes, man, look, these calls, it's so subjective, and it's happening really, really fast. Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. You've still got to go out there and play. You can't let what the calls you are not getting that somebody else might be getting, you can't let that get to you to the point where it throws you off your game. You end up frustrated, less focused, and you end up losing because of that. He did exactly what you want a superstar to do in that situation. One, get the steal. Really good defensive possession. Two, get the shot that you want, and then, like, make it. And he did those. And then if the ref comes in and says, nope, that doesn't count, say, okay, let's keep going to work. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep going out there and competing. Let's find a way to get this very important win. Do we got the one seed all but locked up? Yes. But this is against a Pistons team that may or may not be there come NBA Finals time. And let's go ahead and plant the seed now that we are better than you, and you're going to come into Oklahoma City and you're going to be in for a dog fight. And he went out there and executed that all game long. And then in the overtime period after that call didn't go his way, he still went out there and competed. Yeah,
12 and 19 from the field, 21 and 25 from the free throw line. So arguing a call when you get to the free throw line 25 times also isn't the best look in the world. And again, like, I respect the hell out of SGA. He moved on. He scored 8 in the extra frame, 47 points. And I'll push back on you saying that the Thunder have the 1 seed all locked up. They do right now, but every win matters for the Thunder because the Spurs won't stop winning. The Spurs won their 9th straight, and they're not playing the Pistons, even though the Pistons are without Cade right now. The Spurs played the Bulls last night, and 9 straight wins for the Spurs. I believe they've won 25 of their last 27 games. And in that game, Victor Wembanyama had 41 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and a steal in 31 minutes of action. He had 10 points and 10 rebounds in his first 8 minutes and 31 seconds last night, which originally was reported as the fastest double-double in NBA history since they started the play-by-play era. It's actually the third fastest double-double. We don't have to make things up for Victor Wembanyama. He's an alien enough as it is. Boban had one in 8:13. Jonas Valanciunas had one in 8:08. And Victor Wembanyama has one last night in 8:31. So you have SGA with 47 points in a win. You have Wemby with 41 points, 16 rebounds in 31 minutes. A week ago on this exact show, this time last week, a Tuesday show, we were talking about Victor Wembanyama's bullet point case for MVP. SGA got asked about it last night. He said that the MVP race makes for good chatter, and then he was specifically asked if he wanted to make his case. Here was his answer.
No, I'm good. Thanks for asking, though. But yeah, I'm good. I'll let my game do the talking.
I love the juxtaposition. I love that you have one player actively making a case. I love that you have another player giving the little chuckle and saying, I'm good. I let my play do the talking. He is the odds-on favorite at minus 300. Wemby's at plus 225. Meanwhile, we have Jokic out here performing better than his MVP numbers the last time he won MVP, averaging a triple-double. He's on pace to become the first player in NBA history to lead the league in rebounds and assists per game in the same season. Caitlin Clark called him the best player in the world this weekend. He said she has to say that because they have the same agent. JJ Redick is out here trying to make a case for Luka Doncic. It's a really good year for the MVP race, and there are legitimate cases to be made for each of those players. I do think, if I had to guess, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has been the favorite all season, is likely to win it. But if the Spurs were to somehow make this end of season push, if they were to make up that 2.5 game difference that they have with the Thunder right now, they might give it to Victor Wembanyama. But I could sit here and say, I think Nikola Jokic is being disrespected for the numbers that he's putting up this season.
Yeah, it's hard. We got to compare for this award. And so that means that we got to look at all four of these really, really great elite players and try to decide who the MVP is. And then if you wanted to throw in Brown and Cade, although I'm not sure if Cade, well, I'm pretty sure Cade's not going to have the game requirements. Like you can throw that in there and get into some real nuanced, nerdy type conversations about numbers that we haven't seen before, because all of them are doing that. All of them are giving it, giving those moments and those numbers to us. If it was me, just from a like how I'm viewing the game, SGA 1, Jokic 2. Even though Jokic's MVP season, he compared to this season, he's averaging more points this year than he did in the MVP season. He's averaging more assists than he did in the MVP season. I think he's got a better shooting percentage this year than he did in the MVP season, right? Like, he's a better player now, let that sink in, than he was his MVP season. And yet I'm going to go with SGA. And he's such a great scorer. He's so impactful on the offensive end. And I watched the game after he set the consecutive 20-point game record. And he offensively was awful, terrible in that game. Everything else, he was still playing at a really, really high level. And so I think that we can get lost in the positive offensive point production for SGA and not acknowledge, he is an above average defender, and he makes the little plays happen as well, just like most of the other dudes that we've named. That's me. That's where I'm going. But I'm not going to be upset or irate or shaking my fist if one of these other dudes walks away with the MVP. I will say, because Darnell pushed back on it, you pushed back on it. It's 6 games left. They do got a 2.5 game lead.
It would take,
they win 3 of their last 6. Wouldn't that give them the one?
And let's see who they play, out of curiosity.
They played Lakers twice, Nuggets, Suns, Jazz, and I'm blanking on the last team that they played. Clippers.
So
in
Lakers,
no order.
Jazz, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Suns.
Yeah, so.
Likely. But what if?
All but sold up.
But what if? All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Mike Wallace is going to join us. We'll get his thoughts on the Grizzlies, the MVP race. Also, Joe Mazzulla had an interesting comment on Coach of the Year. We'll get Mike's take on all that and more after a quick break.
Grizzlies
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
The Grizzlies have been consistent as one of the top 2 or 3 most productive benches all season long.
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Each challenge is unique, so each game plan is customized to identify opportunity and the path to victory. It's true in basketball, it's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle with personalized planning and advice. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by May 30th, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. Mike Wallace, senior editor of Grind City Media, joins us every Tuesday. He joins us now. Mike, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. We're right around the corner from the last week of the regular season, and there's going to be some mercy and some grace coming real soon as we turn the calendar and flip the priorities to the draft lottery. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay,
so I saw a piece making the rounds yesterday that was from earlier in March, but following the big Braylon Mullins game-winning shot for UConn, it reemerged, and it was a 60 Minutes piece on UConn and on Dan Hurley, who he himself burned sage before the UConn home opener this season to ward off any bad spirits. It is Dan Hurley himself walking around the court, no area of the court overlooked. He also spritzed holy water on their nets, and he put garlic bulbs under the bleachers to appease the basketball gods. My man Dan Hurley was on his hands and knees putting the bulbs of garlic under the bleachers himself. I'm just curious, Does this need to be a more full team effort approach? We've had some sage conversations in this building, but do we all need to do our part? Like in years past, this time of year, we're getting ready to put out growl towels as a company, right? Like that's one of the most beautiful things we all collectively come together to do. Should we all be bringing sage? Should we all be thinking bigger in terms of what we could do to help push this team, propel this team into more joyous times ahead?
I'm more in the camp of perhaps Hurley needs to get some help from that standpoint, right? Because he went a little bit extreme with that. And I listen, as someone who's experimented with the sage, practices and all of those things previously, I understand, man. You got to get your mental space in the right area and all of those kind of things. But last time I remember, Kyrie Irving saged the court. And he hasn't been the same player since. He hadn't been able to stay healthy since then. So,
but Mike, he didn't hit it with the garlic. We all know that the basketball gods love them some garlic for some reason. Yeah. I don't know the lore behind it, but they like garlic. You got to fit the garlic underneath there.
They're anti-vampires.
But there you go. So maybe you add the garlic into the sage and burn it all together. Right, maybe you do it that way.
The
maybe
holy water spritzed onto the nets.
Y'all are making
I think you have to do all the steps. It's like one of those, old things. If you miss one step, it totally derails it in the wrong direction. You got to do all of the steps. I'm telling you, if UConn wins a championship this year, I'm just saying.
Y'all are making me hungry. Also, sage, garlic. I want some lasagna.
Yeah, there you go.
I want a little rosemary.
Do the basketball gods
love some marinara sauce?
Stir fry. Yeah, or some stir fry. Stir fry is always good for garlic as well too. But yeah, hey man, whatever it takes to get you through these last couple of weeks of the NBA regular season, whatever it takes to get you through the NCAA tournament, hey, do whatever you got to do to get it done.
It is a whatever it takes kind of year. I do want to ask. It's an odd question to even ask because I know it's not about this right now, but I did sit there last night watching Grizzlies Suns, and I thought, man, this team might mess around and win 2 games in a row. Now, that was before the Suns went and outscored the Grizzlies 40-16 in the fourth quarter, and everything came back to reality, and Colin Gillespie finally started making some shots. But I do think it is worth continuing to harp on the competitiveness of this team. And looking at a 25-point loss, you're not going to say, wow, that was a really competitive game. But it was 91-91 in the fourth quarter. And I have looked both at, this team's ability to get in the paint, to get to their spots. They had another 50-plus point night in the paint last night. They now have 30 straight games where they have made 10 or more threes, which is by far and away the longest record in franchise history. Does that level of this working with those players lead you to furthered confidence for the turnaround coming hopefully soon next season?
I mean, the hope is there. You know what I mean? The hope is there. And what you want to see.
Which is half the battle, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, what you want to see in these moments is evidence that the concept can be carried out, right? And it's a stretch. It definitely is a stretch because, again, these aren't games where, get beat by 25 points, the results are the results. Phoenix is not a juggernaut. They do have NBA standard superstar type players on their roster. And I think that game shifted when Devin Booker caught the half court shot and then just pulled up and banked in the 3 at the end of the third quarter and said, my night is done here. Yeah. Here's my 36. I'm going to do it in 3 quarters and I'm going to go sit down. And, again, it's hard to, I've said this before. I can look for giving a guy extended look, giving guys opportunities to see what they can be. I could do that for 10 games. I can't do it for 35, right? And we've been in this stretch for 30-plus games now where we're trying to figure out what these guys can be. At a certain point, I've seen 25 games of certain guys that I know, all right, this isn't something that the Grizzlies are going to build around next year. So are we just getting to the finish line? And some of that answer is yes. We're just trying to get to the finish line. But to your point, are we seeing the offensive system, the skeletons of an offensive system that could potentially work? Yes, especially when Ty Jerome is available, because he's going to be a guy that's going to be triggering this potentially going into next season. When you see other guys that he's playing with play the way that they've been playing in certain stages, that's encouraging. So, again, at this point, I'm looking for Cedric Coward because he's really the last remaining guy that could potentially be a starter going into next season, still playing right now. And how can he attack these last, handful of games? How is he going to do it? And are we going to continue to see his game elevate going into the summer? And then we reset everything and go from there. Because there's going to be, Grizzlies have 3 picks in the top 31, top 32 of this draft. 3 picks in the top 32 is where they're slated at right now. So that means 3 potential new roster spots are going to be coming in, and 3 guys have to be moved on from. So we'll see where that lands once the summer gets here.
Well, and that's where I'll ask if there's been any update from your eyes, your feel, coming through the Sweet 16 Elite action of the men's tournament. I know we talked with you last week about just high performers, guys who have either been able to solidify thoughts on them going into the draft, raise their draft profile, lower their draft profile. Is there anyone coming out of this last weekend that particularly interested you?
Well, I've said this time and time again. I think my Zach Edey from 2 years ago is Yaxel Lindenborg from this year. It just is, like, you know. And the good thing about it is that people are going to question whether he's, you know, 2 weeks ago going into the tournament, people questioned whether he was even a top 20 pick. You know, now after the tournament, he's moving his way into potentially the back end of the lottery. And I think once he combines the actual combine and NBA pre-draft process with what we're seeing right in front of our eyes in this tournament, I think he's going to be right there potentially, you know, as a top 12, you know, some type pick. So I think he's a guy that I see an NBA player when I see him, and I see an NBA mindset. I see an NBA body. I see a guy who's in a winning program now. I see a guy who's completely transformed himself from the iteration we saw at UAB to what we're seeing right now. And he's doing it against the very best on the biggest stage. And I think the biggest test is going to be this weekend against Arizona, which is stocked full of NBA type guys too. So, you know, I want to see Arizona and see if they can get 2 or 3 guys in this draft process. And then obviously Michigan. And, you know, the point guard from Illinois is impressing me more and more each time I see him. Yeah, Wagler. And, you know, those are the guys right now that you say, okay, if the Grizzlies can come away with 3 picks in the top 31, 32, and this draft is going to be deep, then help is definitely on the way.
It would likely require the Grizzlies to land pretty high in the draft when it comes to someone like a Cameron Boozer. But I'm curious if you had any change in thought watching his performance. I know it ends in an absolute terrible way for Duke and a terrible way for his brother. But Cam struggled a bit going up against Terrace Reed and his size on UConn. Did your opinion on Boozer change at all coming out of this last weekend or through the tournament in its totality?
You know what? It's funny because he's such a polarizing player in a lot of ways. You know, people want to, you know, either support him blindly and say, you know, this is the top 3 pick in the draft, or they want to say, look, these numbers seem inflated. He doesn't explode off the chart in terms of how he plays. But then when that game got tight against UConn and they went to Boozer on back-to-back possessions and he made the defensive stop on one end, grabbed a tough rebound, went to the post and scored, I'm like, this dude is a winner, man. Like, I don't know if you – well, I ain't gonna say I don't know. Well, we don't, because we don't know how these guys are going to turn out. But he doesn't appear to be trending in the direction of being a player who you build your franchise around. But he certainly is a player that will go into a system and make that team system even better. So what you don't want is for Cameron Boozer to end up in a place like San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Boston, or someplace that, you know, I mean, again, those teams are high in the playoffs, so they probably won't win the lottery or get lucky or anything like that. But if you go to a team that has some kind of a Miami, for instance, or a team like that has a tradition of working guys and getting the best out of guys, he is going to make that program a lot better. Now, is he going to be the superstar? Is he going to come in and be the guy that you know build posters around? And I don't think he's that. But having said that, he doesn't have to be. So to me, somewhere he's slotted between Wendell Carter Jr. and Al Horford. He's kind of that solid. You know you're going to get that from him every single night. And if you could do that, you could play in the NBA for a long time, man. I don't think he's by far anywhere near a Tim Duncan, but I do think he's a solid, like I said, Wendell Carter Jr. to Al Horford. I think that's his NBA type bracketing range right there.
And a lot of what Duke was able to do when their starting point guard went down, sure, Caden Boozer came in and started and played solid for them. But it was, hey, we've got to take pressure off of the guards. We're going to run the offense through Cam. Mm-hmm. And he's been able to do that all season long. Mm-hmm. And if he's this is the thing that I'm a sucker for. We all have positions that we love blindly for no real reason other than we saw it work once or twice with this one player here or there. that position for me is a point forward, a forward who I can rely on to run the offense and take some pressure off of the perimeter players, the guards in particular, because that frees them up in a different sort of a way. I think about, and I hate thinking about it, but the most recent one that comes to mind is Draymond. Right, the Warriors give the ball to Draymond. Now you got Steph and Clay running around wreaking havoc, and you can't really defend that. You had that player there, though, in Draymond, who could facilitate an offense. Sabonis can do that right now. I think Sengun has been asked to do that for the Rockets as they try to exist without a solid starting level point guard on that roster. And if I can get one of those, I can say, oh, okay, now I've got that piece. Now I can just get shooters around him and let him facilitate the offense for stretches in games. And that's been the thing I've really enjoyed about Cameron Boozer watching him this season.
No, that makes a lot of sense, CJ. And you know, the high side of his game is that he's certainly the first thing I was impressed by when I started watching him regularly. And I didn't watch Duke all season up until probably a month ago. And I'll admit that. But ever since then, I've watched them quite consistently, right, in terms of projecting how these guys are going to transition. And the first thing that impressed me was his ability to reverse the ball to the other side of the floor. Like, he loves being in that mid-post, high-post area, taking it from one side and finding an open shooter in the corners on the other side. So his ability to dribble, pass, and also shoot makes him a versatile big. And, you know, again, handling at the top of the key is something he's comfortable with, a la Draymond Green and some of the guys that you mentioned. What I think he lacks, though, is Sengun is every bit of 6'10", 6'11", right?
Yeah.
So bonus bit of that physical presence down there playing above the rim. Boozer doesn't, he seems to be more 6'8"-ish to 6'9" versus the 6'9" to 6'11", right? And those extra 2 inches, that length, makes a difference in low post NBA athleticism when you have small forwards who can jump out the gym and block your shot. So can he be effective against teams like that? Whereas Draymond can neutralize, because Draymond can handle the ball almost like a point guard from that standpoint, and he defends at an elite NBA level. So again, we're comparing this guy, Boozer, at 19, right, 1 year, to some of the greatest players that we've seen in this generation. And even the fact that that's part of the conversation says a lot about his upside and potential.
It kind of reminds me, very different, because once you get to the NBA and the MVP race, you're talking about fully formed NBA bodies and NBA players. But when a conversation and a discourse goes on longer and longer, week by week, sometimes you just start talking circles around analytics and what you see, as opposed to just being like, hey man, I think this guy's going to be a really good player. I think a lot of what his game has been in college is going to translate in the league. And in a similar-ish sense, we're now at this point, and CJ and I talked about it in the opening segment, the MVP discourse, which SGA put it well last night, like, chatter is good because chatter means that people are talking about it and there is genuine interest. And there are 4 players who you could make a case for MVP this year, with SGA being the continued favorite, Victor Wembanyama and his absurd march and this run that the Spurs are on, 9 straight wins, 25 of their last 25 games resulting, or 25 of their last 27 games resulting in wins. You still have Jokic putting up even better numbers than the last time he was an MVP. You have Luka, who has been unreal for this last, he was really, really good early in the season, had a lull, and now is really, really good again at the end of the season. This time last week, we asked you, because Wemby had talked, specifically about why he thought he should be in the MVP race. SGA went the other route last night, saying, nah, I let my game do the talking. Which approach do you prefer?
I think both of them are taking the right approach. Like SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is the defending champ. You got to beat the defending champ. You got to knock him out. You got to make it, evident, overwhelmingly evident, that you're going to knock him out the box if you want to come take that MVP. And the way that he played in this back-to-back in particular, 2 really, really tough home games back-to-back, and they knock off teams like that. Playoff caliber teams. Last night they beat Detroit in overtime. And again, Detroit was well shorthanded, but it was a credit to JB Big. I think last night's OKC Detroit game enhanced 2 of the top awards that we have, the candidates for those awards. I think it really put JB Bickerstaff in a position where, if you kind of overlooked him a little bit for Coach of the Year, he said, nope, I'm right here. And he did that without Jalen Duren. He did it without Cade Cunningham. He did it without, Tobias Harris. To go into OKC and to have a shot to win that game before it went into overtime says a lot about how he's developed everybody else and among those role players, Dennis Jenkins and all of those guys. But as far as the MVP, man, when I saw SGA take over when they were down 7 with 3 minutes left, and he just that was vintage Michael Jordan Game 6 type stuff. Like the way he moved, the way he played, the pull up, the push offs, all of those things that he did were just remarkable. And the frame, the complexion, just the mannerisms and the facial expressions that never change. Like that was MJ Kobe. And when I saw that, I said, you know what? This is a major moment. This is his guy saying, okay, Victor Wembanyama, I saw your 44 and 15 and 4. And I raise you what I'm doing tonight against the number 1 team in the East, even though they're shorthanded. And I think it's his. I hope that San Antonio makes a move to try to catch or at least tie them and let the last week of the regular season determine it. But I can't go wrong with those 4 that you mentioned. And then don't forget about Jaylen Brown. Like, don't forget about that guy too, because he's hurt right now. But that top 5 of the MVP race, you could throw a name in a hat and throw it on the wall, and I could be like, all right, I can get behind those guys. Anyone.
Did you see the Missoula comment on Coach of the Year since you brought up the Coach of the Year race?
No, I didn't.
He said, I think it's a stupid award. He said, you shouldn't have it. It's more about the players and the work the staff puts in. It's that simple. I don't want to be asked or talked about it again.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a little bit of arrogance, and that's a little bit of entitlement. He could
it's
say
okay.
that right.
It's just Missoula. I look at anything that comes out of it. I'm like, that's so Joe.
See, now he's also again. Some people hit a triple, right? Some people wake up and are born on third base, right? Missoula got handed a championship team, and he's a good coach. He's proven that he can handle it. But sometimes he acts arrogant, as if he hit a triple, and that's how he got to third base instead of all of the stuff that went into putting him over and all the sacrifices that he put himself in position to benefit from.
Mike, thank you as
He
always.
wouldn't be saying that if he was coaching Sacramento. I can tell you that much.
We will see you on Wednesday for the Grizzlies game. No Grizzlies update today. You're welcome. That's Mike Wallace. You can always find his latest at grindcitymedia.com.
Real quick.
Yes.
Got to throw a wrinkle in the MVP conversation.
I love a wrinkle in the MVP conversation.
American MVP. United States MVP. Who would that be? Because the 4 front runners are not ours. The world is caught up.
I mean, minus the collapsed lung, Cade Cunningham.
Okay, so
or Jaylen Brown. But I would take Cade over Jaylen.
Cade, Jaylen, and who would be third in your vote? Ant?
Yeah. Did you see Anthony Edwards' return last night?
Yes.
Okay, so the way this goes for me, I'm just trying to do updates of scoreboards during the halftime show. And I had seen that Anthony Edwards was supposed to come back. And so I just am doing a casual look as I give the Timberwolves Mavs score at half. And I look through the starters, assuming to see Anthony Edwards, and he's not there. So I say, oh, maybe Anthony Edwards, I'm like stumbling over myself. Maybe Anthony Edwards didn't come back. And then I look one line down, and there's Anthony Edwards coming off the bench. I'm like, why the hell is Anthony Edwards coming off the bench in his return? He was injured for 6 games. He comes back. Maybe it's a slow roll back, but I didn't hear anything about that. That's odd. And then I'm looking on Twitter after the game, and I see the quote from Chris Finch where he was asked, hey, why didn't Anthony Edwards start the game? And he said, nature calls, I guess. And then Anthony Edwards confirmed, I was taking an SHIT.
Oh, he had the dookie.
He had to go. When nature calls, as long as he washed his hands. You know?
I hope he did.
Just wash your hands, come back to the game. Everybody has to, play the game together. But sometimes it happens. And apparently this is the thing. Because someone brought up an old article. It might not have been a thing when he was a pro, but this was a thing when he was in high school. Someone brought an old article that quoted his high school coach of saying that they always had to delay practice because Anthony Edwards was either in detention or he was taking an SHIT.
A dookie.
A little poop. Everybody poops.
Like that's his fight or flight response kicking in. That's the anxiety of the moment kicking in. Because, in nature, and we know I'm a nature expert.
And we know you're
it. Like when animals get startled and that fight or flight kicks in, they evacuate their bowels because it makes them lighter. Yeah. And so they can scurry about the way they need to scurry. So that's what it is.
I always thought too, it was just like a nerves of when you have something that you can't really go during. right before that thing starts. Sometimes you're like, oh, shoot, I gotta go. I gotta go. What commercial was that?
Gotta go,
Is that
gotta
an
go, gotta
X-Lax
go, go, go.
commercial?
Is it
gotta
X-Lax?
go right now. Gotta go.
I don't know. I hear the commercial though.
It should come back. And Anthony
Edwards as a
listen. He's charismatic enough. He's funny enough.
Listen.
Our great American basketball player can do poop commercials.
Let's send X-Lax the video and then see if they'll take Anthony Edwards as their new spokesperson.
It's not X-Lax.
Oh, no.
Which
Who
is
is it?
so sad that their jingle did not lead to greater understanding. And it's not even a poop drug.
What is it?
It's Detrol LA. It's for an overactive bladder. An OAD.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bladder situation.
Still, you gotta go,
Whatever. Bring it back.
go.
Bring it back. Bring one of our great jingles of my childhood back. Early 2000s jingles. That's where they were at. And give Anthony Edwards like pregame. Gotta go right now.
For free at Education Connection.
Wow, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Should we draft 2000s jingles?
If you want to, we can.
Maybe. All right. We'll ask Will Coleman if he ever missed starting a game.
Education Connection.
That tickles my brain in a very specific place. Will Coleman will join us after a quick break. We'll get his thoughts on the University of Memphis men's basketball team made some assistant coaching hires. Tony Madlock is back with the Tigers. We'll also get Will's take on all things NCAA tournament Final Four ahead. That's all with Will after a quick break.
Oh, they're saying Brunson in the chat for American MVP.
Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get 1 entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus 1 free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
How much did life change at that very moment, right?
When
When you find out your daughter is on the way, it's like time to grow up, right?
For sure.
What's being a dad like?
Man, it's great, man. Depends on the day, though. You know, she just turned 2, so she
she's mobile now.
She learning the word no. She got a little bit of an attitude, but you know, we going with the flow right now, man.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Welcome back. Will Coleman's not here. Womp, womp, womp. We'll find out. Maybe he's on his way. Maybe he's not. CJ's going to give him a little ring. In the meantime, the women's Final Four is set after last night's final Elite Eight games. It is UConn, South Carolina, Texas, and UCLA. And for just the second time in tournament history, the Final Four will have all of the same teams as the previous year. The last time that happened was 1995, 1996. It is also the first time since 2018 that it is all one seeds. Texas beat Michigan 77-41. South Carolina beat TCU by 26. This year's Elite Eight games were decided by an average of 23 points, which is the largest average margin of victory in a round in tournament history.
Those four were just beating the hell out of good teams.
All season.
And they'd play one another, and like UConn would beat the hell out of everybody. But like beat the hell out of South Carolina, beat the hell out of TCU last night, right? And we just saw Olivia Miles not too long ago drop a triple-double in the tournament, held her in check. What Texas did to Michigan, they were just bigger and stronger than Michigan and could go anywhere they wanted to on the court. I step out in the concourse. They have the TVs and the game was on. It's like, yeah, I'm going to watch some of this until the game gets going. And then it's like, oh, gosh, when is the Grizzlies game starting? I need to leave because this is going to get out of hand real quick. Like these are clearly the four best teams by far and away in women's college basketball this year. And now we get to see all of them go up against one another and take on UConn, who is the best. Right?
The tournament started as UConn versus the field, and now it is UConn versus the other number one seeds. And their first test will be South Carolina, and then Texas and UCLA will play. I selfishly would love to see UConn UCLA because if you have a definitive, these have been the four best teams in college basketball this season, I think you can add a level to that. And UConn and UCLA have been the definitive two best teams in college basketball this season. And when you do have all of the one seeds advance and when you do have the best of the best, it turns into a showcase of the best that the sport currently has. Now, I also cannot wait because I know sometimes people, not all people, but some people don't tune into the women's tournament until the Final Four. And I get it. Like the Elite Eight games were decided by an average of 23 points. If you don't like to watch blowouts, fine. I cannot wait for people to watch Texas, and they're going to watch Madison Booker, and they're going to be like, it's Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant in woman form. She's such a bucket. Like, she's so good. There's no reason why Texas can't beat UCLA, and the biggest reason why they could is just Madison Booker is that kind of tournament player, and I'm excited to see her on that
Interested
next
to
stage.
see what she does in the mid-range. She's not going to be able to, I would just assume, that nobody's going to be able to get buckets uncontested against bets at the rim. But what Madison is able to do is to work in that mid-range so very, very well. Reminds me some of, and maybe I'm mistaken, but what Ryan Howard was at Kentucky, where she was just somebody who in the mid-range, and Ryan could get finished through contact also, but just somebody in the mid-range who could be real lethal. Watching her play last night, Madison play, it's like, oh, okay, this is another great women's college basketball player right here that we have in front of us. And as long as you've got one of those, Texas does, you give yourself a fighting chance because that could be the best player on the court on any given night. Even against a UConn team that has Fudd and Strong and others, she could be the best player on the court on any given night. And then it becomes, okay, can UConn as a team slow that down? And so far this season and in years past, the answer has been a resounding Yeah, of course. Easily.
And they've been there.
Like, you got to see it happen.
And they've been there. And they just did this. And maybe you have AZ Fudd having an opportunity. She had a bit of a down game in their Elite Eight win over Notre Dame, but she was outstanding player of the tournament last year. We'll see if she can win that again. You also have the experience side on Texas. I mean, Vic Schaefer. There was this great picture yesterday that made the rounds of, like, it was Madison Booker, and I forget who the other player was on the other side, but it was them celebrating, and it was Vic Schaefer, like, on his knees, palm hands up. And it was just like, dang, Vic Schaefer has had multiple Final Four appearances. Now he's back with this Texas team, finally gets back. And that matters. UCLA's never won a Final Four on the women's side. They've never won a national championship. So
we talk about this every time something like that comes up with UCLA, and I'll throw USC in there as well because they're both LA schools. With all those people there, with all those children there, how could you not find a way to one time get to a Final Four if you're UCLA?
I mean, technically USC went to one Final Four.
They've got one,
before the NCAA.
They got one between them. Like, we didn't just make one Cheryl Miller in LA. You're not
we had
going
Cynthia Cooper.
You're not going to get me to believe that.
Don't worry, next year's going to be great. Juju and Jazzy together. Okay. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right.
All right. I hope so.
Thanks. Me too. I wanted to play for the UCLA Bruins so bad when I was a kid. I wanted to be a part of the first women's team to win a championship. And that was in like the late 90s. So the fact that they have like 6 WNBA prospects on that team this year. And that'll be an interesting, the WNBA expansion draft has to be like now.
They're going to end this game. They're going to end the championship and go immediately into the expansion draft, and then the next week go immediately into the WNBA draft.
No, even funnier, the expansion draft is going to be Friday, April 3rd, and then I would assume the semifinals are...
Yeah, that's got to be
the same day?
Saturday?
The same day.
Is it? Are the finals on the 3rd? I thought do the men play Friday?
No, the men play Saturday, Monday. That's right. Okay. The women play Friday... Sunday, yes.
Oh,
so the expansion draft is the same day as the 2 semifinal games. So, you're just stacking it up. Get everything out of the way. You also have this whole thing. I haven't done enough. I was going to talk about it tomorrow just because we've been so busy with Grizzlies games. But this return of the Houston Comets is a fascinating story in the W right now with the Connecticut Sun moving back, bringing the Comets back to Houston, but losing the Connecticut Sun in the meantime. And I know there are representatives in Connecticut trying to somehow stop this, but it seems all but done that Houston is going to have. And they'll share an arena with the Rockets as well. So the Comets are back.
Okay. Here's hoping that it's
former
back
USC
to
Trojan great Cynthia Cooper-Dyke.
Yeah. Hopefully it's back to stay for certain.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be fun. I'm excited about the W season. I don't know where everybody is playing because like the expansion draft has to happen.
Yeah.
And then we still have to have the draft, and then we have to go through training camp where let's go ahead and get out in front of this now. Most of the people drafted aren't going to be on rosters.
Right. The yearly cycle of how did she not make a roster? Although with expansion, it does help because there are more roster spots open and available for these women to ultimately end up on. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will do some TV Tuesday, what we are watching. There has been a cast listing for a new Kennedy's show. We're going to get our version of The Crown.
How many Kennedy
with the Kennedy
shows
family.
Do we need? Don't we already have one of those?
We just had one. And now we're getting a bigger one. And the cast is pretty impressive. We'll get into that, what we're watching, and into the rest of our Tuesday when we come back. Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Wells, a rhythm three. Yes, sir! Exclamation point on this game.
fans, defend your home court from pests with Terminix. Before cockroaches, spiders, and mice show up, Terminix it with our pest-free 365 Plus year-round protection plan. Visit Terminix.com today and enter code SAVE50 at checkout to save $50. Terms apply. Go Grizzlies!
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are expected to cede all Supersonics history back to Seattle when that city gets a new NBA franchise. And Oklahoma City has said, when you guys get your little basketball thing, we'll give you all your little history back. So you can have all your little Gary Payton and all your little Sean Kemp stuff, and we'll just focus on our Shea Gilgeous-Alexander MVPs. That seems fair, doesn't it?
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizz Nation, Friday, April 3rd is Memphis Music Night when the Grizzlies host the Raptors at 7 p.m. And Project Pat is in the building to perform at halftime. You can get exclusive swag and meet the hometown legend with a specialty ticket starting at $69. Your exclusive Memphis Music Night experience includes a pregame meet and greet and a limited edition Grizzlies Project Pat t-shirt. This exclusive experience will fill up fast, so grab your tickets today at grizzlies.com/Project. Welcome back. A little TV Tuesday as we end today's show. We did find out who this year's Hard Knocks team is. CJ, do you get excited at all for the reveal of who will be featured on this year's season of Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I say every year, and every year I give no.
Yeah, no. I've lost it.
No.
I've lost it. Because in reality, it's cool that it's the Seattle Seahawks coming off of a Super Bowl. You'd say, wow, neat. That's a Super Bowl team. I get an inside look at their training camp and preseason and going into the season and following along with them. But in reality, I know that I'm not going to learn a whole lot from Hard Knocks. It's just some glossy, beautiful NFL Films footage, which it's always shot gorgeously. It's always narrated lovely by Liev Schreiber. But it's going to be the Seahawks this year, and it's going to be the Patriots next year, which is just quite the turnaround for the New England Patriots to now be in an era where they are allowing something like Hard Knocks to happen. It will be the first time that either team has been featured on Hard Knocks. We've had the off-season version. We've had the in-season version. This show has been around since 2001, which is incredible. It's almost been it has been around longer than Grey's Anatomy. And how's that for a segue? Because one of the other things I saw CJ send for TV Tuesday is that Grey's Anatomy was renewed for another season. That is season 23 of Grey's Anatomy. Aren't these doctors tired?
Grey's Anatomy is older or as old as some of the campers that I have around these parts.
Oh my God.
People work with people who were barely born when Grey's Anatomy got started. This isn't a soap opera either. This isn't a TV talk show either. This is an episodic thing that comes on in prime time. It's been on is it still on Thursdays?
Yeah.
Is that Shonda Vision or Shonda Day or whatever the hell?
I don't think it's Shonda Day anymore, but I do think Grey's Anatomy runs on Thursdays on
Thursdays,
ABC.
The entire 23 times? Like, this is incredible. How's that hospital not gone out of business?
I gave up Grey's Anatomy.
When? Everybody's got the
I
story.
lasted like 2 seasons after they killed Derek.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, for God's sake, it was in 2016. It was 10 years ago. Like, I'm so sorry if you didn't know that Patrick Dempsey's character dies. Surprise! Now you learn on March 31st, 2026. Now I want to see what day was the episode where Derek died on Grey's Anatomy released. I remember watching it in my bedroom in the Tri-Cities, Washington. I was crying, and Chris came in and comforted me. April 23rd, 2015 was How to Save a Life. Season
Almost
11,
11
episode
years
21.
ago.
Season 11. It was just renewed for season 23. And Meredith is still there. She's still there. I guess the grief has passed and just thrown herself into work for all these years.
They got to kill Meredith at some point, don't they?
What's the longest running show on television right now?
Is it not Law and Order?
Yeah.
Law and Order SVU? Because that's been around for a minute.
It has to be.
Simpsons?
I mean, technically it's Meet the Press.
Okay. Well, get them out of here.
Yeah, The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Because The Simpsons were on in the 80s.
89 was its first
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Young and the Restless is the longest
Soap
running
opera.
daytime soap since 1973. And then Law and Order and Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Let's see. Here's a full.
Is Family Guy still around?
You want to know the actual longest?
What?
NFL on NBC.
Okay.
86 years.
Oh, whatever.
Grandstand was the original name of the program. And then Meet the Press, 78 years. CBS Evening News, 77 years. Music and the Spoken Word, 76 years.
I'm familiar.
Never heard of it.
I'm familiar.
I think it's pretty impressive. The show's been on for 76 years, and I've never heard of it. It's syndicated. Hallmark Hall of Fame is 74 years running. Today on NBC, 74 years. The Victory Hour, it's the longest running Christian television program. Backyard Farmer, Nebraska Educational Telecommunications, has been on for 72 years. And I've never seen an episode.
Is Grey's going to get 72 years? Grey's is going to get 72 years. We're going to be in nursing homes, and Grey's Anatomy is still going to be coming on.
Wow.
I'll be 108, and Grey's Anatomy will be entering. No, wait. I'm doing the math wrong. Hold on. So it's already been around for 23. So to get to 77, so what's that, 47 more years?
Good at math.
47 more years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 47.
Family Feud's been on 49.
I'll be like 85. I'll be 85 in an old man home, smelling like Bengay and Depends. And if I'm fortunate enough to make it that long, we know what the health disparities are. And then I'll be like, oh, it's Thursday. It's time for Shonda Day.
Bugs Bunny ran for 40.
What? I was talking with a buddy of mine the
That
other
was a
day.
long one.
Bugs Bunny is the kids don't know how funny
Bugs
Looney
Bunny
Tunes
was. Yeah, I agree.
and specifically Bugs Bunny. Bugs
Looney
Bunny
Tunes
was great.
it was so dependable.
Yes.
Like no matter what episode you were watching, you were going to be entertained.
Bugs Bunny
There weren't off
introduced-
nights for Bugs.
No.
There weren't off nights for the tunes.
No. I mean, some of them weren't as dependable.
Sure, but they were like
But Bugs
pretty
Bunny,
consistent.
Bugs Bunny was the one.
Bugs, Taz was pretty consistent. I enjoyed
I could find
Tasmanian.
Taz
I enjoyed
boring in
Wile E.
some-
Coyote.
I found
and Tweety.
that in some situations, all of them boring.
Okay.
And some not the same way Bugs was.
The Law and Order's been on for 35.
Okay. Good for them.
I'm trying to
gotta
find
do-
like something similar to.
They got to do a Law and Order Grey's Anatomy crossover now. Like, that's what I want. Get these long-ass shows and do a crossover.
Yeah.
Have Olivia Benson. Is it Law and Order or Law and Order SVU? It's Law and Order,
Law
right?
and Order.
So she might not be there. So get
I really missed the
get
crossover
Meredith,
episodes.
Get Meredith over. This will cross over across whatchamacallit, channels also.
Yeah.
So, but they're all merging anyway.
I was
so
going
to
to
be
say,
all
everybody
under-
owns everyone
whatever.
now. Why not?
Let's just do it. Meredith goes to New York, sees a crime committed. Now she's got to talk to the Law and Order detectives. Let's get it going.
I so desperately want a Hacks comeback crossover with a Deborah Vance, Valerie Cherish, 2 fake celebrities in the HBO space, and I also want them to be going up against each other for Best Actress in all of the awards next year. That's a very specific niche thing for me.
You brought that up.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that it dawned on me, Hacks and The Comeback are 2 different shows.
Yes, but they're both my comfort shows. They both serve, and I haven't been able to watch The Comeback from this week, and I'm really upset about it.
They're dropping one a week.
I haven't watched The Pit from this week. I haven't watched The Comeback from this week. What are we even doing? I haven't watched Rooster yet. My mom started Rooster. She said she laughed out loud. She thinks it's hysterical.
Awesome. It is so very.
She heard you talking about it. She said I'm going to watch it.
If you watch one thing right now, and there's a lot of things out from everything that you named, The Comeback, DTF.
Most people aren't watching The Comeback. It's okay.
DTF,
St.
STL. What's the one with the Viltrumites? Invincible, right? There's a lot of good stuff on TV, including the sitcoms, the Abbotts of the world, and the Neighborhood, which is in its final seasons of the world. Watch of everything on
Rooster.
right. Watch Rooster.
That's what everyone
Rooster
says.
is so it's touching and it's funny in the wholesomest of unwholesome ways, if that makes sense, right? Like they get into some stuff, but it's not all the way into it. It's not something that you'd feel uncomfortable watching with your parents, for instance, right? Or with a child around the age of 9 or 10.
It's not DTF St. Louis.
No, that's some wild
I
stuff.
would never watch that with my parents ever.
That I would, because
Ever.
it'd be hilarious to get their interactions. They'd be so lost and so upset about it. But like, it's a really, really good show. It is written wonderfully, shot real well. The acting on it is incredible. Sure, Steve Carell is the thing that everything orbits around, but everybody orbiting around him is great. It's awesome, man. Laugh out loud multiple times an episode. Watch it.
Sounds like a great show.
You should.
There's
Watch
so
it.
much. I mean, speaking of like
I
the
watched
Kennedy
Neighbors.
thing, of course.
I watched the first episode of Neighbors.
There's so many different Neighbors now. I'm really thrown off. The Neighbors reality one on HBO.
Yeah.
We only ended up watching the first 2 episodes, but I did enjoy it when we watched it because it was so insane.
They're just out there in the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah, we had to come out here because we're crazy people in tinfoil hats, and now we've got beef.
Every layer that got added, I was like, "Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. You people can't be real." That's how I watched every episode of that damn show.
Watch Florida Man. If you like Neighbors, you'll like Florida Man.
Okay, it's interesting. The word "like" is pulling a lot of weight there. I'm entertained by it, and it is the epitome of something that I turn on while we're working out. Like, I am not sitting and enjoying an episode of Neighbors.
Just with
but
your
if I am
Chardonnay?
like, throwing those kettlebells and need something to be mad about, I'll turn on Neighbors or something like that.
Watch Florida Man. It'll do that same thing for you, and I think it's shorter. I think Neighbors, because they do 2 Neighbors at a time.
It's like around 40.
And I think Florida Man is
strict
30.
or like a 25 to 30.
Yeah.
There's just a lot out that I want to watch. I've just been really behind. I want to watch that love story, which is the Caroline Kennedy, John F. Kennedy Jr. story, the Ryan Murphy one that the Kennedy family got real mad about. They are doing an actual Kennedy family Crown-like Netflix series where Michael Fassbender is going to play Joe Kennedy Sr. And I'm very curious how this goes, because like the Brits hated The Crown. Like The Crown had a lot of run here and people were obsessed with it, and it was a nice anthology series on the royal family. I'm very curious if in a similar way, if people in America will hate whatever this Kennedy series is, and people across the pond will be like, I love this show. What a great look into American history.
Do we rock with the Kennedys the same way that they do with the royals over there?
I think it's the closest thing. I don't think so, but I think it's the closest thing that we have.
But it is I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I just can't. Maybe it's just me. Like, I don't find that family that interesting. But I don't find any of these families that interesting. And now I don't find, to be clear, I don't find the royals interesting at all.
I don't find politicians interesting, frankly.
And they're not even politicians.
I find politics interesting. I don't find politicians
But
interesting.
I know people over here who consume the royal stuff. I don't know people over here who consume Kennedy stuff. I don't know them personally.
I'm not sure if they consume Kennedy stuff, but I would wonder if there's a direct link. We're obviously younger than the peak of the Kennedy run in the U.S., and so we didn't really experience it in real time. But I would assume that there is some connective tissue of, and to throw a word that absolutely was not alive in the 50s and 60s, but like stan culture, there were Kennedy stans. And then stans of that family, or people who followed it from a place of that immersion of pop culture and politics, I think has grassroots with the consumption of the Kennedys and the Kennedy curse, and then how that has led us as a country to kind of conflate those two worlds together is an interesting thing to explore.
Yes. But, and this is my thing on it, that run is over. The Royals are still doing things that entertain people. I don't think that the Kennedys, after who died in the skiing thing, playing football, after he died.
I can't even tell you.
Yeah, after he died in the 90s, I'm not sure what
that was
else,
Michael.
What else has happened since then for them to be able to pull from to do a Crown-like thing, right? The Crown went from 1400s or whenever the hell it was up till now, and there were interesting things that people were interested in.
The
up
Crown
until then.
only start. I mean, the entirety of the Crown is just Queen Elizabeth's reign.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, see, now I'm confused about what the Crown
I mean,
is.
it starts with her as a child, and so then the ultimate of like her taking over for her father after his death.
Got you.
But it's all Queen Elizabeth. Like,
Okay.
if I'm looking at even today, the variation. I mean, God, we still have a Kennedy in office.
Yeah, but he's not.
I mean, he's married to a celebrity.
But before he got in office, I didn't hear a whole lot about good old Robert F.
Yeah, but I think there's this poll. Even that Jack Schlossberg, who's the grandson of one of them, like a lot of girls started obsessing over Jack Schlossberg content, and I think it's just because he has the association of a Kennedy name. I think it's fascinating. And then you have the Shrivers, who I always forget the exact connection of the Shrivers, offshoot of the Kennedy. But like Maria Shriver was with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So again, the pop culture celebrity crossover into this interwoven world of politics is interesting enough. But yeah, I don't know.
Why the hell did I think the Crown followed?
I have no idea.
All the way from when the monarchs came into rule.
And it didn't
So maybe it will
to
be.
her death because she just died.
Yeah, maybe it will be. Okay. I look forward to.
Kennedy will start in the 1930s following Joe and Rose Kennedy and their 9 children, including JFK. That's why they're so hard to keep track of. They started with 9 kids, including JFK, as they begin to step into the national spotlight. The series is inspired by the book JFK, Coming of Age in the American Century, 1917 to 1956, and it will also focus on the younger years of the future president who lives in the shadow of his golden other brother, Joe Jr., per Netflix's series description. The book is the first part of a planned 2-volume biography of JFK, with part 1 following his life from birth up to the time that he becomes the junior U.S. Senator from Massachusetts. The story of the Kennedys is the closest thing we have to American mythology, somewhere between Shakespeare and The Bold and the Beautiful. I'm sold. Sell me on Shakespeare and a soap opera.
All
Get
right.
into it. I dropped my thing. Please hold.
Please.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You got it. The chat brings up the Reggie Jenkins show, the one with Ratcliffe and Tracy Morgan.
Yes.
I've
heard it's great.
I've heard it had. I just haven't had a moment to sit down and get at it.
There's this probably not very good Taylor Sheridan. Do you know who Taylor Sheridan is?
No.
He's the one who did. Oh God, why can't I think of the name of the show? I watched the first 3 seasons of it.
What's it about?
Montana.
Yellowstone?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yellowstone.
All
And he
right.
does shows in that realm.
Yeah.
And they're not my favorite. I liked the first couple seasons of Yellowstone, and then I kind of just got bored with it. But he has some show that stars Michelle Pfeiffer, and I love Michelle Pfeiffer. And I was like, maybe I should watch this. And I only saw a preview where it's the very beginning of it. So no, but I think her husband dies in a plane crash, and she and her daughter lose money and have to move to the open plains of Montana. Sounds familiar. But I really like her. So I might try that. I'm so behind on so many things. A friend told me that Something Very Bad is going to happen on Netflix, which is one of the newer shows that just dropped on Netflix. Is very good. She binged it all in a day. And I know you're upset because a couple of your shows are getting canceled.
Every single time, Jessica.
I know.
And I watch these shows, and I laugh while watching these shows, and I say to myself, this is a really, really good show, and I know it's going to be canceled. I know it is. DMV, it just got started. They just brought DMV in.
I mean.
And after one season, they're canceling it. And I love me some DMV. I laugh out loud all the time watching DMV.
DMV doesn't have terrible ratings either.
And they're just like, yo, yeah, we're done with it. Get rid of it.
It has, I don't like Rotten Tomatoes, but on IMDb, it has a 6 out of 10. Plenty of 6 out of 10 shows have survived in this world.
I don't give a damn what it is.
I know, but I'm
on
just trying to, I'm trying
meter.
to explain to you.
Like,
here's some tough ones. You wouldn't agree with them.
No, I probably wouldn't read them.
So not funny, engaging, or entertaining.
You're
the powers that be
outside
at
of your
CBS keep canceling the shows that appeal to people with a brain and give us this drivel. I understand we will never have a full season of anything. Remember I Love Lucy, but reducing seasons of TV shows to 20 or less is so sad.
They're wrong. They're right. It is like brain rot, but it's awesome.
Here's one. Might be. This show has so much potential. Look at the cast, but the writing is not good.
That gets better as the characters are allowed to grow and develop. You got to set this. This is season 1. You got to set the stage for everything. There's a will they, won't they?
This is the state of comedy these days.
It's funny.
I know the networks don't want to have anything worthwhile on free TV nowadays. Anything decent goes straight to the streaming platform.
Jessica, there's a bit on the show with one of the guys at the DMV who sits in a chair, and periodically the chair just drops on him. Just unexpectedly, the chair just drops on him. And he goes and he fights with the DMV because he works there about getting him a new chair. And he ends up in a bromance with an AI chatbot because that's what the DMV is using. And you're telling me that that's not funny. That's what y'all are telling me. Y'all don't find that funny. Get out of here. All of y'all, kiss my whole ass. Bring back DMV. And while we're bringing back DMV, bring back Guys with Kids and bring back a Grand Crew while you're at it.
All right.
Bring back my damn shows.
Bring back Happy Endings on ABC and Dirty Sexy Money and Pushing Daisies. Those are my 3 that really made me mad back in the day.
Did I say 3? I did say 3. Okay, never mind.
There was also some show called Firefly.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
I remember it fondly.
Mr. Robinson. Bring back Craig Robinson teaching the youth about music and Mr. Robinson. Bring him back also.
Bring back Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23.
They gotta run, didn't they?
That was a great show.
Not
long enough.
How many seasons did that get? Like
I
6
don't
or
know.
7?
Bring back Trophy Wife with Malin Ackerman.
Didn't that get a run also?
That did have a run. Bring back
Everything I'm
American
naming,
Housewife. I forget what that actress's name was, but she was funny.
Jessica, everything I'm naming had like 2 seasons max, maybe 3.
Okay, Pushing Daisies I think had 1.
Okay, bring back Pushing
And Happy
Daisies.
Endings had 2, and that Happy Endings had the potential to be one of the greatest sitcoms that we ever had, and it was taken from us far too soon.
Oh, clip it.
I think you would like Happy Endings.
Okay.
That show was
Is it
fantastic.
streaming somewhere? So I can find it, watch it, and be mad that, once again, TV execs have canceled shows that I love? DMV and
You'll be so mad when
American
it's over.
Auto?
3 seasons on Hulu.
Okay. Bring
It
back
was such a
American
good
Auto.
show.
American Auto was so good. What are we talking
What are
about?
we doing?
TV execs?
As we complain that we're behind on so many other shows because we don't have time to watch the shows, but please bring back the shows that were canceled along the way. Yeah, Michael Brewer, Netflix canceled Glow way too soon. Glow was good. Do you remember Glow? I feel like you watched Glow.
I didn't watch
That was
Glow.
the women's wrestling show.
Yeah, that was the wrestling joint.
I liked that show.
I thought
Gilpin?
thought they ended it, not canceled.
It canceled.
Okay.
Do we have 2 seasons?
I thought there was 4. How many seasons of Glow were there? I thought it was 4. I might be mistaken.
There were only 3.
3. Okay, so between 2 and 4. Got you.
Tough scene. That was a great show. That has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. All right. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Oh, these damn canceled shows really soured my mood.
Me too.
I know we're drafting jingles on Thursday.
We want to draft canceled shows.
Do
shows that were gone. No,
Like,
because
we got like 3?
your list is going to be so niche.
Because my shows are good shows. I can't help. I'm the only one in this world with good taste. No, there aren't, Jacob. They aren't
Jacob,
the same
in the words
as
of
DMV.
Jacob, because you can't hear him, there are 15 shows on air right now that are just the same as DMV.
No,
That are
they
the
aren't.
same slop
No,
content.
they aren't. They aren't. That's where you're wrong. Free justice for DMV and the rest of the canceled shows. Bring them back.
I mean, there are some really good canceled shows along the way, but if you're going to take DMV, I don't think I can ethically.
Who said I would draft DMV though?
I'm just assuming.
Nah, I mean, listen, I have to sit down and think about it. I got 4 shows right now that have been under 3 seasons and got canceled. It's like, okay, I would take those before I would get to the DMV.
Maybe we'll do 2 drafts. Who knows?
I mean, we can.
There are no rules.
Kind of the off season.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Close enough. All right, everybody have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow. It's another Grizzlies game day. The New York Knicks are in town to face the Grizzlies tomorrow. D'Angelo Williams will join us as well. We will see you then. Bye.
Seriously, Guys with Kids was great.